for women and their families. This is Her Lens this morning with the ladies. My name is Fumi. Buki Femi Ajala is here, and Suzanne Ihoma is here as well. We're missing Ibina, but we know that she's fine where she is. Well, one day away from thank God it's Friday and thank God it's the weekend. And then by next week, Suzanne is dancing, we'll move into the second week in the best month of the year as we approach. Suzanne, please. As we age toward my birthday, and then this is Women's Month at the end of the day. So very, very, very important, very noteworthy. And so this is me begging every man, because at this point I say we should be begging people, begging or pleading with every single individual born of a woman. That this month, please do something to appreciate the women around you. Whether you see women carrying bags, offer to carry their bag for them. Interestingly, when we're growing, my dad instilled in my younger brother that in our estate, you can't be walking in the estate and see a woman carrying like 2 bags. He must go and carry. So it's still ingrained in him. He cannot see a woman and not help her with her bags. So it could be with that, or maybe open the door. You see a woman, she has bagged a child holding on that one, and then you are dragging with that to enter the door. It's not good. Is the right thing to do as a human being. We have to be kind in it, but we're not kind as human beings, but we have to learn kindness. Kindness opens the way, opens the door for us all. Okay, I'm gonna let the ladies say hello this morning. Hello, Suzanne, once again. Hello, Buki Femi Ajala. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Ma'am Buki. I'm doing great. As you can see, I'm glowing.
I can see it. Yes.
Yeah. Let me blow my trumpet. I'm glowing, and I hope HerLens family, you're also glowing wherever you are, even if it's at Diagmo, auntie, uncle, glow auntie. It's good to be here this morning.
Okay, so I'm great. I'm fine. I'm also glowing, despite this.
I love it. The sun is glowing on your face. I can see it.
I am telling you, I have to come outside. I have to come outside, since yesterday,
power issues.
Power issues, the inverter drained down. We tried to get fuel in the nearby petrol station. We couldn't, so we have to go somewhere now. So I just say, what? Nothing can steal my joy. After all, God has blessed us.
Joy, yes.
Make I come outside.
I love you.
I come enjoy
but
we're fine. And we have to thank God. I even enjoy it. I mean,
I love it. I absolutely do love it.
So,
okay.
So good morning, Lens family. Yes. What are we doing today? Yeah.
Let's get into it, because I saw this thing. I didn't even know that we were going to do it this morning. If not, I would have come really, really ready. I saw this yesterday, and it took me down to when my sister was in primary 6. I can never forget. My sister comes back from school and could not sit down. And my dad, I think my dad wasn't home. He comes back and no, my dad wasn't home. She comes back and her bum was swollen. She couldn't sit down. And initially she didn't say what was wrong. So after probing, my mom finds out, checks her bum and sees that it was hard and it was swollen. Why is your bum hard and why is this swollen? Turns out that her teacher had beaten her. So I think my grandma, she had taken her to my grandma's house as well. And of course, my mother is an educationist. I come from a family where almost everybody, almost all the women are in the line of education. So it's like, when is not activity we don't used to teach? When is not activity we don't have school? You understand? And my grandma was really livid. Of course, now my dad goes to school the next day, does not go to work the next day. They go, and yeah, I really, really feel sorry. I still feel sorry for the teacher and what my father did to him. Eventually, they had to remove my daughter from my daughter. Yes, now I raised that. My sister from the school. They had to remove her because it was now a case of they didn't want a situation whereby she would not be bullied. Because when they went there and tried to find out what it was, in typical school fashion, they were taking the side of the teacher. That's okay. If now the kid had done something wrong and you're punishing, no wahala. But punishing to that extent, and that's the story we're going to be talking about this morning. A young girl, thankfully her face was not shown, her thighs, the back of her thighs. When I saw it, oh, is here. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? We have missed you. I talked about you already this morning. How are you? We missed you this morning.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Olufumi J. Good morning, Lady Susan. Good morning, Lady Buki F.A. Good morning to all our valued listeners. It's great to be here. I had a few programs. So I was in Otta yesterday. It was a busy time. So, but we are here.
We're here.
I miss you.
You're here looking like a yarinya. Okay, so this young girl in one of these military schools, I don't want to mention the name of the school, was beaten. Now, do we know her crime? She's the crime, I will call it. Do we know what cause it is? To be fair, I don't, at this point, I actually don't care what she must have done. That person was beaten as a criminal. That person, I don't care. And there is no reason for it. Me, as I am, as a mom, I'm very, very not with beating children, and my friends always, they just roll their eyes at me every time I say because it's difficult to, and the reason for this is it's difficult to measure or control the anger you feel when you're beating a child. So for instance, a child maybe steals meat from the pots and you're so upset. Most times I'm asking, are you beating this child because they did something that is wrong, or are you feeling embarrassed that you have failed as a mother or as a father or as a guardian? So it's a mixture of, I'm beating this child because they've done something wrong. This child, have failed me. You are frustrated, you're overwhelmed. So for me, it's so difficult to gauge the emotions. I'm not saying don't beat your child. I'm not saying beat your child. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for me, it's so difficult. And in this case, we have seen it, because what did this child do that warranted such beating? So we're going to start off with Susan, because Susan, you're in education fields. So we're going to start with you, and then so you can speak to, because I cannot for the life of me understand what happened here. Yes, please, carry on.
I'm in education, but I have Mami Binabo, who is my yoga at the top. I'm just a baby educator. And I've even run away from education because I don't have the...
You are starting with you.
Be that as it may. Buki and Fumi, you just said something, and that is the crux of the matter. That flogging was born out of anger. Whatever must have been used to flog that girl. I just watched the video a few minutes ago, and I was wondering, you see, teaching is not very easy because our students can be a whole lot. Yeah. I am telling you from the perspective of a teacher. Students can be a whole lot, but when the stories start to come out, because you cannot see what that student has done, it is impossible to, hold on to that. But you would see what the teacher, for every action, there's a reaction. And so their reaction is what you get, not the action. So in such cases, please punish the students instead of flogging and giving such marks. In all of my years, I'm not sure any of my students, from teaching practice till I finish teaching, will come out and tell you, Miss Susan ever flogged. But I'll give you punishments that you will sweat at that spot. You will be the one crying and begging me to release you. You will not go away from there. There are things, and this is also speaking to teachers. If you know you have anger issues, don't teach children. Yeah. Children will push you. Children will test you. This is an SS3 girl who already feels like, but it is senior now. Kiloku, Ojomeloloku, for me to leave school.
Yeah.
So she's already feeling, we know the energy around these SS3 girls and boys.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Do you understand? So I'm reading there, I think I saw it was the bossa or something who did that flogging.
The bursar, yes.
I mean, the bursar is not just a random teacher. The bursar is not just a random teacher.
Yeah.
That is what we should know. So if you are teaching, you have to manage your emotions and manage your anger, because these kids will push you to your limits. And if you are not careful, you will unalive someone's child. Imagine if while flogging, that child slumps. What happens? We have to be very careful. You don't know a child who is okay and the one that is not okay. Worst case scenario, you invite their parents. My youngest sister finished from that command, Ipaja. I know how they do some of their punishments that are too much. They are too much. And with time, the children begin to feel like, should be punishment, loma paria. With children of nowadays, you don't get to that extent where a child feels, last, no meaning. They will just flog me. No. We should be teaching children to understand why you are even punishing them.
Yes.
When you give a student, I take all my students as my children. And so when I'm punishing you, I'm asking you, so what did you do wrong? I know it's quite difficult, but then don't allow them push you. I think this bossa teacher, whoever, was pushed to the limits. And so the reaction is not it. Look at that girl's legs. And then for the name of the school and whatever, what I read towards the end will be a bad, I don't know, precedence for the school if it is not treated as it should. Let us not be sentimental because it's a bossa, because it's a teacher. No. Let us call a spade a spade. If the teacher, the bossa, whoever did something that needs to be sanctioned, please let that person say. It will also serve as a deterrent to teachers and students who misbehave. If the child needs to be suspended, let them go on suspension. If the teacher needs to be sanctioned, let that person sanction. But taking laws into our hands and flogging a child blue-black, kilo dead. Please, thank you.
Yeah, I'm even thinking that a bursar should not even have that much authority because bursars are the ones in charge of school fees and all of that now. So why is a bursar beating? Ibanaba is rolling her eyes. Like, why is a bursar beating, a child? And this thing even brings to the forefront that whole when children don't pay their school fees and then they get beaten for not paying their school fees. I know that happened to me. I remember some years ago, it was summer and I wanted to take my kid to a summer school, myself and a friend of ours. They resumed on the Monday. So we wanted to see, okay, how is the school before we now make up our mind. They even encouraged us to let our kids stay for one day and then we'll see that if we're not okay, we can take our children and be going. By Tuesday, we go. I asked my daughter, how did you? She said, oh, she liked it, she loved it. Tuesday said, okay, I will pay. It was not that we didn't have the money, but by Tuesday, you will not believe that they didn't let us go inside. This was not normal school. This was summer holiday question school. And yes, I understand that some people go to school and they don't pay. Some parents are they have degree in jumping from one school to the other and they don't pay. But this was not even the case. The head of school had told us this, and then my kid and my friend's kid ran into the school because they had fun because they ran. And if you see the way they dragged our children, it took me back to when I was in primary school and I was beaten for not bringing school fees. I was like, see, I've done it. My child cannot be going through the same thing that I went through, many years ago. But Buki, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
1 minute for me. Let me quickly ask a question. Maybe Ma'am Buki will answer. But my question is, why are they not releasing the child? Why?
It's a good one.
It's just making my brain. Why are they not releasing her to her parents to take care of her after flogging her that much?
And if you, sorry to even stop you from speaking, Buki, if you remember, many times we've seen kids who have, maybe the child died in school or the child was really, really sick. The school never got around to calling the parents. I remember there was one popular one that happened, I think his name was Sylvester, in our Lagos, in a boarding school. They did not call the parents. And then I think the mom just all of a sudden went to the school and they were doing... There was another child that died in another popular school at an inter-house sport, and the same thing happened. Like, why wouldn't you get the parents involved? Please go ahead for when I move to Ibenabo.
Okay, so is Ibenabo going?
No, you can go first, Abby. You can go first.
This
Ibenabo is holding
way
her anger. She's holding her anger. She's so upset.
Okay,
so she's waiting for you to go.
Let me lay the red carpet for Ibenabo. Ibenabo will come and tread on the red carpet. Okay, yeah. For me, it's a no-no. When I saw it, I said, why now? Why now? Even if it is a boy, not to talk about a girl,
Yeah.
they must have asked her to lift up her skirt, you know, for that to happen.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think it's just too much. I think it's just too much. Susan asked the question, why are they not releasing the girl, to the parents? I don't know the policy of the school, because when it comes to command, it get as it be. If
Mm.
it's not, if it's the other school that is not attached to the military atmosphere, right? We can talk to say, oh no, they should have allowed her, because we do not the stress level of that child. Let's take it. I mean, let's face the fact. Children of nowadays, they don't get strength like we in those days. We had, and it's just environmental factors and technology and the things we see and the way we were raised and how they have been raised now. You understand? My own father, what that person mean by you. I,
Hi.
I I I still have it. You understand? I carry my bag. I said I'm going to my father's house. My father said, "Okay, okay, go now." I got to the gate with my luggage. I sat down there. Everybody was laughing at me. Shebi say you won't go to your father's house.
Be
At the
going
end
now.
of at the end of the day, I carry my bag inside. You understand? So what am I saying is that the children of nowadays, we need to understand that they are not that, in terms of structure, in terms of stress level, they can't take what we took at that time. Because I was looking at it that even in my own school, and they flog, but not as much as this. You understand? They flog. And if you go to, command schools, because I tried to read the comments, everybody who went to command school said, this one, in fact, my own pass this one, my own pass this one. But that is in those days, not now. I would advocate for a reform. I will advocate for a reforms. I think for the public school, flogging is prohibited. So I think the stakeholders for command schools and anyone that has military affiliation, I would advocate for a reforms. Let them sit down and begin to say, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to allow? What are we supposed not to allow? For instance, this particular one, I think they went overboard, so they should do the reform. When you're talking about command, command and military, if you want your child to go to command, you will know now. It's like, if you don't want to bear the heat, then don't go into the kitchen. Only ikoko to ma jata, ide agbono. You understand what I'm saying? That's the issue of command, because they come from a military. It's like when you want to become a soldier, you say you will not go for drills. The other day at our training, we normally use the training of elite rangers, how they train them, they subject them to stress, right? But we are not saying that this one should be subjected to training, because they are not training them as soldiers. They are there to school. Some of them will actually move from there into the main one to become a military personnel, but they should go for reforms. This is a secondary school. Yes, I understand the aspect of discipline, which every school should have, but when it goes abroad, because this one, you don't pass them, where you are, a girl, even if it's not a girl, let's even say a human being, that one for me is more like is an harassment. You've gone over your limit, and it's a no, no, no for us. So I am calling for reforms in that. And like Susan said, right, I believe they have their own code of conduct in command. Let integrity come out now.
Yeah.
Based on what they have, is it right? What that teacher did, was it the right thing? If it was not, then please suspend the teacher. Let it serve as a deterrent to others. But for me, because they will say, "Anna, command now, what do you expect?" You understand? But let us understand seasons have changed. Right now, we have to call for reform. So that's where I want to stop. But it's a no, and reforms must come into command. So everybody that has something to do with the policy, command, whatever, they need to look at it and come up with reformation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buki, for that. Ibn Abba, over to you. Like, what are your thoughts on this? If Buki says there should be reform, should there be reform where we should stop beating children? Because these people, you cannot really.
You said what?
I'm asking Ibn Abba. I said you mentioned that there should be a reform over reforms in school overall, and I'm asking that should the reform involve no longer beating the children? Because you cannot really, like, this man now, boya he's been frustrated, whether of course he's a frustrated person. So how do you? Yeah. So how do you control? Yes.
They should stop beating. That's it. Okay. That is part of the reform. They should stop it because people are angry. The stress level now in Nigeria is high. Indices says that Nigerians, in terms of miserable index, that we are 5 times miserable than what we are over 10 years ago. People are angry.
So we have a call. Hello, good morning. Sorry to interrupt you, Buki.
Thank you, ma. I don't want to put out on this case before, but based on what the analyst was saying, that we should the era that we are now, the system that we operate now is different from our own type. If we continue like that, means our children continue to go in school. The problem is going to my spirit left to wait for my mother have to send my spirit back to the school. Continue the talk because there's only a certain way behave in the school that if you leave this side, it will become new world in nearby teacher. You don't need it to become around. The system we operate now is still operating school that someone saying, don't beat her, don't do this, don't do this, don't tomorrow the person will learn effect in training. If the Bible says spare the rod and spoil the child, you need to see that rod. We're even disobeying the Bible. The Bible says we should use the rod, not even sin. Children of nowadays, they are so unruly. They are so unruly, disobedient to parents and to even teachers. So let us, because if a child is being in the school, the way we never will flog the child. Because now flog the way we that I flog that I flog a lot of people. But I will not probably they will see the mark. So I support flog, because that only that I'm making that I support. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. He says children are unruly. We're not disputing that, but we also have to go back to the beginning. Who's raising these children? Because if you say, and I'm not putting the whole entire blame on parents, I'm saying that if the children are unruly, somebody has caused them to be unruly. When you should have disciplined your child. A lot of times you hear people say, if they did not teach you at home, or if you do not collect at home, you come and collect outside. But how do you strike a balance? Over to you, Ibn Abba. I know that there's a lot that you want to say.
As a matter of fact, I'm tired.
Hey.
You know why I'm tired?
Why?
So, we have on this program itself, this should mark the 5th, if not more, in number of cases of stories coming out of military schools where students were battered. You see, yes, we shouldn't spare the rod and spoil the child. When they say spare the rod and spoil the child, people tend to believe that you must carry koboko. That's when you are not sparing the child. Life is not all about beating. There are times you sit a child down, talk to them. There are times you punish a child without touching the child. There are so many things you have to understand the child. And we're particularly talking about military school now. You see, it is, as far as I'm concerned, the military schools are controlled by the military tenets, the tenets of the military. So even a teacher who ordinarily wasn't a very harsh teacher, when they find themselves in military school, I think they put on the cloak of from the military school. And that is not good enough.
Yeah.
Or not. If you beat a child to coma or to death, you go in for it. The laws are there to take care of it.
Yeah.
And then my anger is the fact that we are talking about teachers, but this particular case has to do with a boss. Who is a bosser in a school? A bosser is not a trained teacher.
Yep.
If you're a trained teacher, there are processes to go. I mean, there are ways to go about issues like this. How a bosser found himself or herself in the place of a teacher, now beat up a student, irrespective of whatever transpired, that you could not hold yourself together, that you beat a child to the point that the body of it is beaten with pains of what you have done to that child. There's a thin line between discipline and wickedness. People must understand this. It's not a matter of carrying the rod and spoiling the child. There are cases to think you are trying to train it, and you are actually being wicked to that child. Any form of discipline from you. All they take is aggression. And by the time they get to a point, they begin to return back to you in good measure. Aggression you have shown in them. And again, you see, military school is not different from other schools. It shouldn't be, at least, because everybody falls under the laws of Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we have child right protection laws. We have education policies that emphasize a not be subjected to violence or degrading punishment. Let's understand this. So firstly, for me, it is totally wrong. The person who carried out this thing is not standing on his or her own. You are a bosser. You should see to anything finances in the school. Go and mind your office. Go and man your office. Go and face your business. If a child, yes, let's assume that this is not the position or the role of that bosser to beat her. I've looked at it from every angle. Where has a bosser become a teacher? How will you tell the story that the child did not pay school fees? Is she the one paying her school fees? Or let us start from, is it a male or a female bosser? Because there is a tendency that if it's a male teacher, I mean, it's true that I'm saying allegedly. I'm just assuming. I'm not saying that what transpired.
Yeah.
Because we have read of cases in which a teacher was trying to make advances at a particular female student, and she kept declining. And at the end of the day, he felt that, okay, I will show you who is the master in this school. I will frustrate you.
Yeah.
And they will use it at all levels of schools, whether primary, secondary, or university. This is absolutely wrong. And I'm saying that, you know, people due to the school's military affiliation is wrong. Program. I don't know whether Buki would remember. We discussed about primary school now, the primary military school now. A child came to school late, and whoever was in charge felt the best way to punish this child was to make this child do frog jumps. This did frog jump until our hips shifted.
Yeah.
Do you know that this child spent months in the hospital? And she could not walk again. So by the time the news broke out, she could not walk again. And who was taking care of the responsibility of the expenses? The parents. So see, you can't say because it is a military school, then you are above the law. You are not. Like Act is looking at everything, whether you are a military school teacher or you are a regular school teacher. Yes, children could sometimes be very frustrating. Yes, some parents are irresponsible. I will use that word without apology. That they have abdicated their responsibilities to teachers. Meanwhile, you are the first teacher of that child. You failed in your place as a parent to train up this child. Now you are transferring everything to the teacher to do. That is absolutely wrong. But in this particular case, you know, people generally believe that training a child is an act of disciplining that child. You know, it's a big lie. There are ways to train a child. Go and find out. I mean, Bookie mentioned different comments on the platform where the story was released. If you like, bit of this agbero we have on the roads, most of these miscreants living here and there, what happened to them? It was because of too hard knocking as they perceived it. They had to run away from home, and they totally destroyed their lives. They messed up their future. So what has the parent gained? Your child has left. Your child is living a life that you're proud of. And even if you go and bring this child back home, it will take only to intervene in bringing this child back to track. I believe in this child, but we should know when to draw the line, not by leaving marks on the child. Man, no, that's what they did to Bookie. She has shown the akpa on her body to her children. And she probably older. It's not a good memory. It's not a beautiful memory. Please, I don't believe in it. Excessive people in these schools like this, even the senior prefects, like for junior students, you know what they do to them? There was always his punishment was to I'm not sure is a only long throats. That boy food enter your eye, so you now chose to look for an excuse to have a reason to be eating that boy's lunch. Not be paddle for canoe. We know what is fake. It's not right. Hard knock life could push some children into criminality. Let's be honest with ourselves.
True.
By handling them, they only end up becoming adamant, resisting punishment, or resisting being disciplined. So what are we talking about? What is the gains? Everything you are doing, you should look at the aftermath. What are the gains of what you are doing? You are busy turning people against being well disciplined, being of good behavior. You are saying you are disciplining that child. This is not a matter of spraying around spoiling the child. No, this is an act of wickedness. It is that is what I see it as, and nobody can change it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibinabo. I mean, me, I'm cooking with you on the no beating because again, you cannot control it. Me, my dad used to beat me. Let me know that he used to beat me in a bad way. I was a naughty child. I used to do some really, really crazy things. And did I deserve the beating? Yes. Did I like it? No. But then, like what Ibinabo said at the beginning, I realized that even though my dad used to beat me, what used to get to me more was the talking. I did not like that talking to me. Because he would talk to you like this and you'll be thinking about your life. And then years down the line, I can still remember the things that he said, to me. And that's why I believe strongly in knowing what tool is appropriate for what child. Some children, you beat them, they will chest it. They chest, and then they become worse. Shebi is only beating, like what Ibinabo said. But just talk to them and it's all over. So I think knowing which one, is applicable to which child. Yes, Buki, before we go to Susan.
Okay, yes, I like you said, I didn't know you wanted to talk about that. Knowing the appropriate type of discipline matters, and also what is appropriate for ages. I wanted to come from the angle of parents. Let us love our children by them in the home, making them responsible from the home. Because the way God has designed it, education starts from the family. From that 0 to 5, before they begin to go to primary school and all that, You are their first mentor, the first person who should put them in the proper place, discipline them properly. Yes, did I beat my own children? Oh, yes, I did, but I was not wicked to them because I know the experience I went through. You understand? But I did not. In fact, today they will say, "Oh, mommy, when mommy wants to beat, she'll just do like this. She'll just do like this." But they know that when I sit them down, there's a way my eye reaches out to them, and there's a way I speak to them. When I call their name and I sit them down, they know that I will not share, you know. And if you ask them today, those are the things that they can remember that really shaped them. Yes, the beating, from their own father did a bit, particularly when they misbehave. Because nobody has asked me, what did I do? I misbehaved that day. And you also mentioned it, you misbehaved. That was why the cane went there. You understand? But was it wickedness? No. There's a thin line between discipline and being wicked. What we are talking about is when you are so angry that anger has taken over you. Your emotions have taken over you, that I'm going to beat you today. In fact, some will say, "Well, you understand? Why must you do that?" That is what we are saying. We are not saying do not, whatever you want to do, just ensure that you do not get to that point where you are wicked to them. And there are many ways of disciplining them. Even right now, there are many, many ways. I remember in our own primary school, we had one field. They would tell you, "Oh yeah, go and kneel down there." And nobody likes it because everybody in the school will know that you are signing punishment. So we don't even want to do that. The other time they say, "Yeah, go and uproot grass." Nobody wants to do that. At times they will just say, "Yeah, no, everybody, oh yeah, put your head on this thing." There are all kinds of things depending on the age, the season, and of course the tempo at that time. But for what this teacher has done, I think is sheer wickedness. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Susan, do you have any more things to say? I know that you do. Hi, Susan.
Fún mi dé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Well, we have touched at it from different angles. And like when I started, I said it that it is coming from a place of anger. And Mami Binabo stated, this is a bossa, not a trained teacher, because even a teacher knows their limits, even though we have also seen teachers who have also flogged students mercilessly. So I think that this is also a call to action for teachers, for schools. I don't know what you do during your meetings. I think such issues should be addressed. It is important that principals, headmistress, they keep addressing their teachers because, we keep engaging new people, including those who are non-teaching staff. A bossa is a non-teaching staff. Everyone needs this information so that you know your limits. We are saying this because this girl is still here and has the marks to show. If it had turned south, all this analysis will be a different ballgame. And for our students, I know parents are trying. I also know that children can be a whole lot. And I agree with the eye contact Madam Buki talked about. It is important that we raise children that are children, not people who are a menace. You are happy to push them to teachers. The teacher you are coming to meet is also a human being. Let's be real. Because I have seen parents who continuously, no, you don't push out unruly adults and send them to teachers because you think that it is their duty, to this. Please, this is a call to both the duty bearers and service providers, including the right holders, which are the students. Everyone needs to act right. The fact that someone is teaching you does not mean you should be unruly to them, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to ask, how does the government come into this? Because a lot of times we see this kind of things happen, and yet, oh, you see a lot of noise. I remember in the case of that young girl who passed, I think 2-3 years ago, at the inter-house sport of her school. They shut down the school for maybe a week or two, and then the school came back on. And you're left with a mother who will continue to grieve her 13-year-old child who left the house whole and came back another way. How do we also call on the government in terms of, in the case of this girl, they don't want to release the girl to the parents? Like, what, like, is it that because my child is now in your school, I've now willed my child to you? I don't get, even about, I can see the hand is up. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for me. You see, this Nigeria of ours is so convoluted that practicing everything, we have forgotten that there are rules. We have a rule book that is guiding everybody. Beyond anything, any rule or law or whatever that is obtainable in any school, we have the Child Rights Act. We have the VAP Act. So, and in this, there is no point where that discipline a child, batter a child because the child misbehaved. There's no way it is written. So when you do that, you are simply infringing on this child's rights. And the state government, they know. But you see, the problem we have is, you see, when we are paddy, okay, Rose has a school, and a teacher in Rose's school messed up a student, and Ibn Abu that is going to carry out the investigation and then do all of those things. And Buki is what to pass the judgment, and we are saying, Rose is calling me. Madam Ibn Abu, are you going to really allow them to close down my school? Because you teacher me now. Yeah. And Buki too will be saying. So what do we do? How do we cover? How do we sweep this under the carpet? Maybe we should first off close the school. Don't worry, Rose, Susan. Let us just close your school briefly. You're still going to open it, though. You're not going to lose anything. After your children are paid for that term, before the new terms, comes up, we'll release your children to come and pay school fees. Don't worry. So you have not lost. Made any loss. So that is, I'm assuming, because otherwise, from some stories coming out of from some schools should be suspended for at least a year minimum. That you will not, no educational activity will go on. But the government will quickly come and close down the school for some time in the name of we are carrying out investigation. I'm not saying it is bad, but eventually what happens? There is usually no proper closure for whatever happened, which is very discouraging. This is what will make parents take laws into their hands. Like the one that you mentioned, the child that actually got electrocuted when the school carried them to a place for inter-house sports.
Inter-house sports.
I know the school. My friend's older brother's in-law. You understand? So, see, as much as we know that, yes, somebody will say, is it the owner that did it? No. But there is something we call taking responsibility. When students to perform maybe in a competition, whether it is sporting activities or that's due to academics, and they come out excellent. They will not mention my school name. They will not mention Susan's school name. They will mention your school name.
Yes.
But you didn't go for that competition. You didn't partake in it personally. Your student did. So in other times, when your teachers when a teacher messes up in your school, take responsibility. That is the problem we have in Nigeria. People don't take responsibility. They always want to exempt themselves from an act that is very shameful. And government, the person is this, the person is that. Somebody is calling a friend to talk to the governor and everything. And of course, compassion will set in. But compassion, how? Like somebody will say, how now? A child is dead. How do you console the family? What can replace their family? So the bottom line is always and always, that's what we advise. If they take it, if they don't take it, one day they'll meet with them. When there is a problem, address it politically, take responsibility. But before there is a problem, how do you have regular meetings with your teachers? As a matter of fact, with your members of staff. You don't wait till there's a problem. You have to be proactive as a school owner. Owning a school is not about making money, making good money. Oh, in my school, they pay ₦1 million per session. That is not it. The bottom line is, how well do they teach? How do they handle students? How do they treat students? Because there are some schools that students at all, they just need them to do anyhow. That one is bad too. So we have to have it has to be a balance. And government should be like the umpire of this. If there's a problem, you take it seriously and you discipline. If it is a school, you close the school, whether for a year. Let them learn. Let them know how to recruit their teachers. Let them know how to keep having meetings upon meetings with their teachers. Let them put people. Life has no duplicate. Hey, I beg you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, on that note, we call it a day because I just keep thinking if we continue to talk, we'll just dwell here and we will even have enough time even still at the end of the day. But I want to say a big thank you to you ladies. Today was, I mean, a really, really sad story, but thank you for doing due diligence to this story this morning. We truly appreciate it. Catch you same time tomorrow. Hopefully Rose will be available tomorrow and to continue the conversation with you. Thank you so much, ladies. All right, this is the Women Radio 91.7 FM. We still have great, amazing programming for you. Do stick around with us. Bye for now. My name is Fumi Bangala.